Borderline personality disorder, a disorder of your personality. Is it really even worth it? If you have a friend or family member out there that has BPD, is it worth your time, your effort to help them? Or should you just cut and run? Look out for yourself. Screw them. When they're abusing you, calling you names, telling you you're worthless, you don't care about them, you don't understand. What about when it becomes physical? When they get so angry and the emotions are so overpowering, they push you up against a wall or smack you around or something. At that point, are you supposed to stay? Are you supposed to put up with that? Because they have trauma? Well, now you have trauma. Why should their trauma traumatize you? You have all of the best intentions, and now they're treating you like shit. When is enough enough? Oh, I'm asking you. I don't have the answer. You can let me know in the comments section below. Thank you. Good night. That is something that each individual must answer for themselves. How much abuse is enough abuse? You shouldn't be allowing yourself to be abused in the first place. That is what makes being friends with being involved with borderlines very difficult. I like to see how much I can get away with and still have you want to be my friend. So I keep pushing it and pushing it, knowing the whole time that eventually I'm going to get to that point where you don't want to be my friend anymore. So it's pretty much just a rating system. I just rate everybody in my life on how far and how much they've let me do before they finally said screw it and left. Now, should somebody allow me to just do whatever I want unchecked? I don't think so. I think that would be a horrible idea. That must mean that people without BPD should stay the hell away from people with BPD, right? Because you can't give them unconditional love. You have to have conditions because there's just some things you can't put up with. What if they decide, oh, I'm just going to kill your dog? Can you let them just kill your dog? No, that ain't cool. Nobody wants their dog killed. So what are you to do? Just avoid them at all costs? Maybe. If you're not a strong person, then yeah, you should probably avoid them at all costs. If you want to help someone with BPD, the first thing you've got to realize is that you have to be very strong, emotionally strong, willing to back up what you say. Now, the reason you have to be emotionally strong is because we're going to come at you emotionally. We're going to use everything against you emotionally. We are going to do very extreme things. If you are not emotionally strong, we will most likely win. Set up boundaries, and you got to set up boundaries early on. Setting up boundaries is a pain in the ass, though. Now, for this to work, you have to talk to them when they are even mood. You don't want to bring it up in an argument or a fight. This must be done before argument and fighting. One of them could be if you start screaming and name-calling, I'm going to leave. Not leave you forever. And I'm not going to put up with that abuse. If you start name-calling and yelling, we're no longer having a civilized conversation. Even though I love you, I cannot put up with it. I will not put up with you name-calling and yelling at me. It's something I can't put up with. You start doing that, we're done talking. I'm leaving. I will come back later when you are acting more rational. So you set up that boundary. And then everything's going to be great. They'll never call you a stupid bitch again. It gets worse before it gets better. It always gets worse before it gets better. They're going to test this boundary. If they're like me, they'll test it right away. If you tell me not to call you a stupid bitch in an argument, I'll just call you a stupid bitch not in an argument. Just to piss you off. I'm looking for the loophole, so you gotta be very specific. Remember, this is all like subconscious stuff. It's not like we're consciously sitting there thinking this. It's just the way our brains work. And by setting up these rules, boundaries, whatever, you will get us to start thinking about it though. Like to really be able to logically see it. So set up a few of these rules. This is the part where they're going to test you, and you've got to stick with it. So they break one of these rules. You must leave. If that's what you said you were going to do, and that is the best course of action, is just to leave. They're not going to want you to leave. I told you, you got to be strong. They're going to try to keep you there. They're not going to want you to leave, but you have to leave. The quicker the better. Then you're going to start getting a whole bunch of harassing phone calls calling you every name in the book and how evil you are and you're bad. And you have to ignore that. In some cases you're going to get suicidal threats. If you don't come back, I'll kill myself because you don't love me. Once again, you got to stay strong. Now, will they self-harm? Maybe. There's a good chance they will. If they do, if there's the unfortunate case that they do kill themselves, they were going to do it anyway. It wouldn't be because you set your boundary. You wouldn't have made them do it. I've really painted a bleak picture, haven't I? I try not to sugarcoat or lie. So, I guess, to wrap up things, I'll have to do more videos on this, but for now, you have to be a strong person if you're going to deal with the borderline. You have to set up boundaries. They're going to test your boundaries. They may go to extremes. You have to stay strong. There may be a point where you do have to cut them loose. They may be too far gone. If they are so far gone that they cannot give you the love that you need, then why should you give them the love they seek? So what do you think of boundaries? Do you hate them as much as I do? Let me know in the comments section below. Would you give a bum change? That bum is most likely going to go buy 2 ballpoint pens. You could go check out my Patreon page, make a donation of $3, and you know exactly where that money's going. To give this channel credibility, not for ballpoint pens. The link for my Patreon page is in the description below, along with Facebook and Twitter. Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, keep on keeping on.